Welcome to our deep dive today. We are going to be exploring self-image psychology
Okay.
and through this really fascinating book,
Right.
The Magic Power of Self-Image Psychology by Dr. Maxwell Maltz.
Interesting.
And you might be thinking like, what does a plastic surgeon have to do with self-image?
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Maltz, he really had a front row seat to how people's appearance impacted their lives.
Right.
But his work goes so much deeper.
Yeah.
He's really exploring those deep ways that our mental picture of ourselves can shape our success, our happiness, even our relationships.
It's so fascinating how his background really informed his work.
Yeah.
He was able to see firsthand how even after, changing their physical appearance,
Right.
some patients still really struggled with those feelings of inadequacy.
Mm-hmm.
And this led him to realize that true transformation has to start from within.
Absolutely. And so let's dive into this idea of the self-image.
Okay.
So Dr. Maltz argues that we act as if our self-image is true,
Okay.
regardless of whether it's accurate or not.
Right. And so this acting as if principle,
Mm-hmm.
that seems to be pretty crucial to his
Yeah.
whole theory. So what are some practical ways
Yeah.
that we can actually implement this, like in our own lives?
Well, he suggests that we consciously choose to behave in ways that align with that image we want to project.
Okay.
So, for example, if you want to be more confident, start by acting confidently.
Yeah.
Even if you don't quite feel it initially,
Yeah.
it might feel a bit strange at first,
Right.
almost as if you were playing a role.
Right.
But, the more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
Yeah.
And then as you start seeing those positive results, your belief in yourself, it's going to grow.
Right.
And that solidifies that new self-image.
Got it. So it's about taking action,
Yes,
even when our feelings haven't caught up yet.
exactly. And to further understand how powerful this acting as if can be,
Okay.
Dr. Maltz actually drew some inspiration from the work of Prescott Leakey.
Okay.
Now, Leakey, he worked with students who were struggling academically.
And he found that their performance dramatically improved
Wow.
just by shifting their self-conception.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
So what were his methods? Like, how did he actually guide these students towards a new self-image?
Well, Leakey, he used a variety of techniques,
Okay.
including things like positive affirmations, visualization exercises, and even role-playing.
Uh-huh.
Scenarios where students could practice embodying their desired qualities.
Okay.
The key was consistent reinforcement of that new self-image.
So it sounds like he was essentially helping them reprogram their subconscious beliefs.
Precisely. And this really ties into the incredible power of the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz, he even references Uspensky, the Russian mystic,
Uh-huh.
who believed the key to existence was hidden within the subconscious.
That makes me think of the example from the book of the young woman with the hair lip.
Yes.
Even after surgery corrected the physical flaw,
Right.
she still felt inferior.
That example is so poignant because it highlights how self-image, it runs deeper than just physical appearance.
Right.
It's about our core beliefs about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And those beliefs often stem from past experiences,
Yeah.
and they can become deeply ingrained in our subconscious.
Yeah, it seems that to change these ingrained beliefs, it requires us to really tap into the power of our imagination.
Absolutely.
And I found Dr. Maltz's emphasis on imagination
Yeah.
to be particularly interesting.
Yeah.
He suggests that we are constantly using our imagination,
Mhm.
whether we are conscious of it or not.
Yeah.
So the key is to be intentional
Right.
about the images we create in
Yeah.
our own minds. And he contrasts the businessman
Yes.
who is consumed by fear of cancer
Yes.
with the worker who visualizes getting a raise.
Right.
It seems like the difference really lies in how they are using their imagination.
Right.
But how does visualization actually lead to tangible results?
Well, there are a few ways that this can work.
Oh.
Visualization, it helps us build confidence
The heck?
by allowing us to mentally rehearse success.
Mm-hmm.
And this can reduce anxiety and allow us to perform better in real-life situations.
Okay.
Also, when we vividly imagine a desired outcome,
Yeah.
we become more attuned to opportunities that can help us achieve it.
So it's like we are priming our minds
Yes.
to notice
Yes.
and seize those chances.
Exactly. It's not just wishful thinking.
Right.
It's about preparing ourselves mentally and emotionally for success.
Absolutely. And Dr. Maltz himself is a testament to the
Yeah.
power of visualization.
Yeah.
He shares his own story of pursuing plastic surgery
Right.
despite facing discouragement from others,
Uh-huh.
but his strong self-image and consistent visualization
Yes.
played a key role in his eventual success.
Absolutely.
It seems like he truly embodied the principles
Yes.
that he writes about.
Yes.
Now, this brings us to the idea of relaxation.
Okay.
How does that fit into this picture
So,
of building a strong self-image?
well, Dr. Maltz stresses that relaxation
Yeah.
is not just about pampering yourself.
Okay.
It's about achieving a state of inner peace,
Okay.
which is essential
Mm-hmm.
for a healthy self-image.
Got it.
And he warns against becoming a pressure-driven individual,
Right.
like the businessman who can't even relax at home,
Yeah.
always chasing those external goals.
It definitely sounds like a cautionary tale. You know, it's like we can get so caught up in achieving
Right.
that we forget to actually live and enjoy the present moment.
Exactly. And Dr. Maltz reminds us that forgiveness
Yeah.
is a key ingredient for true relaxation.
Okay.
Holding on to grudges, it only creates inner turmoil.
So by letting go of past hurts
Yeah.
and embracing self-acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
we can create that space
Yeah.
for inner peace,
Right.
which in turn strengthens our self-image.
Yeah.
It's all interconnected.
Absolutely. And he illustrates this beautifully with the story of the man who visits hospital patients,
Okay.
radiating peace and joy.
Mm.
Right. It's a powerful reminder of how our inner state not only impacts us, but also those around us.
It's like our inner peace becomes contagious,
Yes.
creating this ripple effect of positivity.
Precisely. And this leads us to another crucial aspect of self-image,
Yay.
our habits.
Our habits.
Dr. Maltz argues that our habits are reflections of our unconscious feelings and self-image.
Okay, so he delves into those dangers of self-destructive habits,
Yeah.
like overeating or smoking,
Yeah.
suggesting that people often engage in these behaviors
Mm.
to escape a negative self-image.
It's as though they're trying to numb the pain of feeling inadequate.
Right.
And he emphasizes the importance of having a fulfilling life outside of work, setting positive goals
Okay.
that give us a sense of purpose.
It makes sense that when we feel content
Right.
and have that sense of direction,
Right.
we are less likely to rely on those harmful coping mechanisms.
Right. And he underscores that link between good habits and a strong self-image. When you value yourself,
Yeah.
you're naturally inclined to take care of yourself physically and mentally.
So building a strong self-image, using our imagination, wisely learning to relax and forgive, and cultivating good habits. These are all interconnected pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
But there's another piece that Dr. Maltz explores that feels especially relevant today,
Yeah.
embracing individuality.
Absolutely.
In an age where conformity often feels like the norm.
Yeah. He discusses how the loss of that pioneer spirit,
Right.
that sense of self-reliance and adventure,
Mm-hmm.
it coincides with the rise of consumerism,
Yeah.
where we are constantly bombarded with messages about how we should look and what we should buy.
Right. But he doesn't advocate for complete rejection
No,
of societal norms, right?
No, he acknowledges that a certain level of conformity is necessary,
Okay.
for a functioning society.
Right.
But he stresses the importance of carving out space for our unique individuality,
Okay.
whether it's through our personal style, our hobbies, or even how we approach our work.
It seems like he believes true fulfillment comes from balancing our need to belong with our desire to express our authentic selves.
Exactly. And he provides some really inspiring examples
Okay.
of individuals who stood out from the crowd and achieved great things.
Like Dwight Eisenhower,
Yes.
who remained true to himself despite immense pressure and responsibility as a military leader.
Right. And Harry Truman,
Yeah.
who faced harsh criticism, yet stuck to his convictions.
These examples are truly inspiring.
Yeah.
They demonstrate that true success comes from embracing our individuality,
Absolutely.
not conforming to someone else's idea of who we should be.
Right. And Dr. Maltz offers some guidance on how to cultivate individuality.
Okay.
He encourages us to, develop our own minds, think critically, and not blindly accept the opinions of others.
So we should be willing to challenge the status quo.
Yes.
And stand up for our beliefs, even if it means facing opposition.
He also reminds us to use the power of visualization to reinforce that image of ourselves as confident individuals capable of achieving our goals.
And this ties back to that idea of acting as if.
Yeah.
It's about believing in ourselves, even when others may doubt us.
Precisely. And this segues perfectly into another area where societal expectations can limit our self-image.
Okay.
Aging.
Oh.
Dr. Maltz challenges the notion that retirement marks the end of productivity and worth.
It's like we're conditioned to believe that reaching a certain age means stepping back
Right.
and fading into the background.
Yeah, but Dr. Maltz vehemently disagrees.
Okay.
He shares inspiring stories of individuals who thrived after retirement,
Okay.
like the surgeon who found new purpose teaching at a college.
And let's not forget Henry Bailey Little,
Yes.
who retired as a bank president at the incredible age of 102.
Talk about defying expectations.
Wow.
So Dr. Maltz's message about aging is clear.
Yeah.
Maintain goals, stay connected,
Okay.
and lead an active lifestyle.
Okay.
Age is just a number. It's never too late to pursue new interests and passions.
It's about keeping that inner fire alive no matter how many years we've lived.
Absolutely. And to kind of wrap things up,
Okay.
he provides his daily dozen,
Okay.
12 key concepts for building a new self-image.
It's like his guidebook for
Mhm.
self-improvement.
Right.
And these concepts beautifully tie back to everything we've discussed so far.
They do.
This has been such an enlightening conversation.
It has.
I'm so excited to dive deeper into his daily dozen
Yeah.
and explore how we can practically apply these principles to our own lives.
Let's continue this journey in part 2,
Okay.
where we'll break down each principle and delve into its practical applications.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Dr. Maltz's The Magic Power of Self-Image Psychology. I'm really eager to unpack his daily dozen, those 12 principles
Yeah.
that he outlines for building a new self-image. It feels like such a practical toolkit
It is.
for personal transformation.
It is a wonderful distillation of his key insights.
Yeah, so shall we start with the first principle?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
So the first principle is think in terms of images.
Okay.
This emphasizes that our minds, they operate primarily in pictures, not words.
Okay.
So if we want to change our behavior, we need to change the mental pictures we hold.
That makes sense. I'm curious about the practical implications of this.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on how we can consciously change those mental pictures?
Certainly, it involves becoming aware of the images we're currently holding,
Okay.
especially those that are limiting or negative.
Right.
And then we consciously choose to replace them with more positive and empowering images.
Okay.
This can involve visualization techniques, affirmations, or even surrounding ourselves with visual reminders of our goals.
So it's about actively shaping our mental landscape,
Yes,
not just letting our thoughts run on autopilot.
precisely. And this leads us to the second principle, which builds upon the first.
Okay.
You act as if.
Okay.
This highlights the power of behaving as though the image you hold of yourself is already true.
This reminds me of the fake it till you make it philosophy.
Right.
But isn't there a risk of feeling inauthentic or even deceitful
Yeah.
if we're not truly feeling those qualities yet?
That's a very valid concern.
Yeah.
Dr. Maltz, he's not suggesting we suppress our genuine feelings or
Yeah.
pretend to be someone we're not.
Okay.
It's more about aligning our actions with our aspirations.
Okay.
By acting as if we're already confident, courageous, or whatever quality we want to cultivate,
Yeah.
we start to embody those qualities.
Right.
And our actions, then they create a feedback loop influencing our thoughts and eventually our feelings.
So it's about bridging the gap between our current state and our desired state
Exactly.
through conscious action.
And the third principle, imagination is your ally.
Okay.
This reminds us to utilize this powerful tool constructively.
Yeah.
Instead of dwelling on fears or limitations,
Right.
we can use our imagination to visualize success and possibilities.
This connects back to that contrast between the businessman consumed by fear and the worker who visualizes getting a raise.
Right.
But for those who struggle with visualization, are
Yeah.
there any tips for making it more effective?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's important to engage all your senses in the visualization process.
Okay.
Imagine the sights, the sounds, the smells, and even the physical sensations
Yeah.
associated with your desired outcome.
Okay.
The more vivid and multisensory your visualization is,
Right.
the more powerfully it will impact your subconscious mind.
That's a helpful tip. It's about creating a truly immersive mental experience.
And that leads right into principle number 4. Create success pictures in your mind.
Okay.
So Dr. Maltz encourages us to paint detailed mental pictures of ourselves, achieving our goals.
Okay.
This reinforces the positive image we're trying to cultivate.
It's like creating a mental movie
Yes.
of our desired future, complete with a compelling storyline and a happy ending.
Yes, and the more we replay this mental movie,
Right.
the more we're programming our subconscious to believe in its possibility.
This feels very empowering. It's like taking control of our narrative and directing it towards a positive outcome.
And the fifth principle, ties all of this together. Change your self-image to change your life.
Okay.
This encapsulates Dr. Maltz's core message.
Yeah.
He argues that by transforming our self-image, we can change our behaviors, our relationships,
Right.
and ultimately our entire lives.
It's almost like we're rewriting the script of our lives, starting with the image we hold of ourselves.
Precisely. And principle number 6 emphasizes the importance of our emotional well-being.
Okay.
Aim for happiness.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz reminds us that happiness is a choice,
Okay.
and we have the power to cultivate it.
This doesn't mean we should deny or suppress negative emotions.
Right? Absolutely not. It's about acknowledging our emotions, but not letting them control us.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz suggests that we consciously direct our thoughts and actions towards things that bring us joy and fulfillment.
So it's about shifting our focus from what's wrong to what's right,
Yes.
from what we lack to what we have.
Yes. And that leads us to principle 7, which focuses on inner peace.
Okay.
Relax and accept yourself.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz highlights self-acceptance as the foundation for happiness.
Okay.
He argues that we can't truly relax if we're constantly battling ourselves with self-judgment and criticism.
It's like giving ourselves permission to be human with all our imperfections.
Exactly. This acceptance creates a space for inner peace, which in turn strengthens our self-image.
Mm-hmm.
And this brings us to principle 8,
Okay.
the success mechanism within you.
That sounds intriguing. What does he mean by success mechanism?
So Dr. Maltz believes that we all have an innate capacity for success,
Okay.
a mechanism within us that's just waiting to be activated.
What triggers this activation? How do we tap into this inherent potential?
Well, it's about embracing the other principles in his daily dozen.
Okay.
Changing our self-image, utilizing our imagination constructively, learning to relax and forgiving ourselves and others.
Yeah.
These principles create the fertile ground for our success mechanism to flourish.
So it's not about seeking external validation or shortcuts,
Right.
but about cultivating an inner environment that supports our growth and success.
Precisely. And principle number 9 acknowledges a common human struggle,
Okay.
accepting your weakness.
Okay.
So Dr. Maltz argues that true strength lies in recognizing our limitations
Okay.
and not beating ourselves up for them.
I think this is a really crucial point,
It is.
especially in a culture that often glorifies perfectionism.
Yeah.
How does he suggest we approach our weaknesses?
Well, he encourages us to be kind to ourselves even when we make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's about acknowledging our weaknesses without letting them define us.
Okay.
In fact, he suggests that we can even leverage our weaknesses to our advantage.
Oh, could you give an example of how we might do that?
Certainly, let's say someone is naturally shy.
Okay.
Instead of viewing this as a debilitating flaw,
Yeah.
they could reframe it as an opportunity to develop their listening skills
Yeah.
and become a more empathetic communicator.
That's a wonderful way to reframe a perceived weakness as a potential strength.
And this leads us to principle 10,
Okay.
success through failure.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz challenges the conventional view of failure as something to be avoided at all costs.
Yeah.
He encourages us to view failures as opportunities for growth and learning.
This seems to be a recurring theme in personal development literature.
It is.
But how do we practically apply this principle when facing setbacks?
Well, it's about reframing our perspective on failure.
Okay.
Instead of seeing it as a definitive end,
Yeah.
we can view it as a stepping stone,
Okay.
a valuable feedback mechanism that helps us refine our approach and ultimately achieve success.
So it's about adopting a growth mindset, embracing the learning process, and not letting setbacks deter us from our goals.
Exactly. And this brings us to principle 11, which echoes our earlier discussion on individuality,
Okay.
being yourself.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz encourages us to embrace our uniqueness,
Yeah.
to express our authentic selves without fear of judgment.
This feels especially relevant today with the constant pressure to conform to societal expectations, especially on social media.
Especially on social media.
How does Dr. Maltz suggest we navigate this challenge?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of self-awareness.
Okay.
It's about identifying our values, our passions, our strengths, and aligning our actions with them.
Okay.
It's also about having the courage to be different, to stand out from the crowd, and to let our unique light shine.
It's about recognizing that our differences are our strengths, not our weaknesses.
Precisely. And finally, principle 12 challenges another societal norm.
Okay.
Never retiring.
Okay.
Dr. Maltz argues that retirement shouldn't be viewed as an end to productivity or purpose.
This aligns with his message about aging being just a number.
It does.
How does he envision this never retiring mentality playing out in practice?
where he encourages us to continue learning, growing, and contributing to the world,
Okay.
regardless of our age. This might involve pursuing new interests, volunteering in our communities, or mentoring younger generations.
It's about maintaining a sense of purpose and engagement throughout life,
Yes.
not letting societal expectations dictate our level of involvement or contribution.
Exactly. And with that, we've explored Dr. Maltz's Daily Dozen.
This has been incredibly insightful. I'm already feeling inspired to apply some of these principles to my own life.
There's so much to glean from his work, but our deep dive isn't over yet.
Okay.
Join us for part 3, where we'll explore a fascinating visualization exercise from the book
Okay.
and discuss how you can implement these principles into action.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the magic power of self-image psychology. Dr. Maltz's Daily Dozen is just like brimming with all this advice that you can actually use. And I'm curious to explore how we can practically apply these principles to our own lives.
Yes, his work offers a wealth of tools for self-transformation. And to help us solidify these concepts, he includes some really powerful visualization exercises in the book.
Okay.
There's one in particular that I find quite compelling.
Tell me more.
Okay. So imagine yourself on a stage under a bright spotlight.
Okay, I can picture that. What's the setting like?
So the audience is filled with people who are important to you.
Okay.
Family, friends, colleagues, mentors. Anyone whose opinion you value.
Got it. I see them all, faces lit by the stage lights, looking up at me expectantly. What happens next?
You're about to give a performance.
Okay.
But it's not a song or a dance.
Okay.
It's a performance of the person you aspire to be.
That's a powerful image. What kind of performance are we talking about?
It's unique to you and your goals.
Okay.
Imagine embodying the qualities you want to cultivate, whether it's confidence, kindness, assertiveness, creativity, or any other trait you desire.
Right.
Feel those qualities flowing through you as you stand tall and proud on that stage.
I'm already getting goosebumps just imagining it.
Now picture the audience reacting positively to your performance.
Okay.
They're smiling, nodding their applause, washing over you.
Yeah.
They see the best version of you, the person you're becoming.
It feels like I'm drawing energy from their support, fueling my own self-belief.
That's the idea. Their belief in you becomes a mirror reflecting your own potential.
Okay.
As the curtain falls, you feel a surge of accomplishment. You've just shown the world the amazing person you truly are.
What a powerful exercise. I can already feel a shift in my mindset just by imagining it.
Visualization can be incredibly transformative.
Yeah.
Especially when we engage all our senses and emotions in the process.
Right.
And remember, Dr. Maltz emphasizes repetition.
Okay.
The more we practice this exercise,
Right.
the more deeply ingrained that positive self-image will become.
It's like we're rehearsing for the role of our lives, and with each rehearsal,
Yes.
we become more confident and skilled.
Exactly. And as we step off that imaginary stage and back into our daily lives,
Right.
we carry that newfound confidence with us.
It's like we're leaving those limiting beliefs behind the curtain and stepping into the spotlight of our true potential.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Dr. Maltz's message is ultimately one of hope and empowerment.
Yeah.
No matter what challenges we faced in the past, we have the power to change our self-image and create a brighter future.
Absolutely. His work provides a roadmap for personal transformation, a reminder that we are not defined by our past experiences,
Right.
but by the choices we make today.
He reminds us that we have the power to choose the thoughts we think, the images we cultivate,
Right.
and the actions we take.
So to our listeners out there, what has resonated with you most from this deep dive?
Yeah.
What insights are you taking away from Dr. Maltz's work?
Perhaps it's the power of acting as if, the transformative potential of visualization, or the importance of embracing your individuality.
Or maybe it's the reminder that happiness is a choice, that self-acceptance is the foundation for inner peace, or that age is truly just a number when it comes to living a fulfilling life.
Whatever insights have resonated with you, remember this. You possess the power to transform your life, starting with the image you hold of yourself.
Believe in yourself, nurture your strengths, embrace your individuality, and never stop growing.
And don't forget to harness the power of your imagination. Visualize your success, rehearse for the role of your dreams, and step confidently onto the stage of your life.
This deep dive has given us so much to ponder and apply to our own lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery.
We hope you'll continue exploring the magic power of your own self-image. Until next time.